All right, boys, welcome to Trading Academy Day 2. Let me get a little drink of water. Mm, So, if you are new to trading, in today's video, we're going to be talking about where to go to chart, what to use, what platform to use to chart so you guys can see price action, right? And we're also going to be talking about what are candlesticks, right? Just candlestick explanation and pretty much telling you guys what do candlesticks mean, right? So the trading platform that you guys want to use, it's the most popular platform. It's what every trader uses, or mostly every trader, right? It's going to be tradingview.com. Come into tradingview.com. You guys can make a free account. The plans are really, really cheap. They're like, I don't know. I don't know. I think they're like 10, 12 bucks a month. I think there's a free option as well that you guys can get on here and just practice, and you guys could see price action. I think it's just like one chart at a time though. And then they have upgraded plans that you guys could pick. They're really cheap. They're not super expensive. And again, you guys don't have to worry about all of this stuff. If you guys scroll down here on TradingView, this might look like super overwhelming, but you guys do not have to worry about any of this. You guys can scroll down here if you want, but all this stuff is not necessary. Okay, what you really need to do is just create an account and then come into products and type or click super charts. All right, you don't need any of this. You don't need the economic calendar right now. You don't need heat maps. You don't need screeners. All you need is this super charts. All right, you don't need any of this either, right? You don't need the markets. You don't need any of this. Just products, super charts, and then that will bring you here. Okay, and it doesn't matter what chart you're on, you're going to have candlesticks in any ticker, right? Any symbol that you type in up here, you will have candlesticks all over the charts, right? If I toggle through all of these, you're going to have candlesticks everywhere in crypto, in Forex, and gold, everywhere, okay? This is basically going to tell you, this is how you read price, right? This is how you read price action. This is how you can tell where price is going by using candlesticks. Okay. Candlesticks just basically describe price action, right? It's telling you a story, right? Each candle tells you a story. Each candle has a story within the candle, right? It has a ton of information within the candle. So if you look up here, you guys will see the MWD. Now, what these stand for is, like, if I go to the month, right? This is M stands for month. So if I go to the monthly chart, right? Each of these candles represents 1 month of the year, right? This is November. You guys can see it down here. November, December, and January 24, and February, March, and then currently we're in the month of April. So this candle is going to change based on the price action of April. All right. So if I go to the week, we can start zooming in, right? We already have 2 weeks for April, right? This is the current week. This is last week. All right. So within this candle right here, we have a ton of information. Okay. So if I were to zoom into the daily chart, then we'd have 5 candlesticks that represent one weekly candle, if that makes sense. And you can keep zooming into it, right? So one daily candle, right? If I zoom into the 4-hour, that's 6 4-hour candles, right? Because 6 times 4 is 24 hours in a day, right? Now, a candle is always going to have a wick, right? It's always going to have a top wick. It's always going to have a bottom wick. In some cases, you will have, no wicks, like this one right here. You'll have no wick on the bottom. Sometimes you'll have no wick on the top. But for the most part, you're going to have a wick on top and you're going to have a wick on the bottom. All right. Now, bodies, you're going to have bodies, right? Which is this portion of the candle, pretty much the middle portion right here. And then these lines are called wicks, right? These are wicks. Everything, like all this whole candle is just price action, right? If you were to zoom into it and dissect it, it's basically describing price. It's telling you a story. Every single candle does, no matter the time frame. If you were on the 1 minute, right? Each candle on the 1 minute time frame represents 1 minute. Okay. Now, these candlesticks are going to have an opening price, they're going to have a closing price, and they're going to have a low and high. Okay, so for example, on this weekly candle, if I just hover over it, you guys will see numbers over here on the top left, right? If I hover over these candles, they start changing, right? So if I hover over this candle right here, it says O, right? You'll see the O, H, L, C. What the O represents means the opening price of that given candle that you select. All right. And then the H means the high of the candle, where it was the highest point of the candle. The L means the lowest point of the candle. The C means the closing price of the candle, where the candle closes before the next candle opens. Okay, so if I hover over this one, you guys will see that 53.14 was the opening price. So this is where this weekly candle opened. This is where it formed. Okay. Now you guys see the next one, the high, right? This is the highest point of where this weekly candle got to, right? It got up to 53.50, right? It got up to 53.50 right there. Now you guys will see the L, right? This is the lowest point of where this weekly candle came, right? It's 51.91.50, okay? And then the closing price, right? It came all the way down here. This was the lowest point of where this candle got to, and then it came all the way back up and it closed up here, right? The closing price was 52.55.75. Okay, boom. 52.55.75. This is where it closes. So the bodies, right? You always have a body on a candle and wicks. This is like the bodies is where the price opens and closes, okay? And then you'll have wicks. You'll have the high and the low for the most part. All right. And again, in some cases you won't have wicks, but that's kind of rare, to be honest. I mean, it happens, but like on a weekly chart, it's kind of rare. So if we start dissecting this price action right here, right? If I mark out the high of this candle and the low of this candlestick right here, and I go to the daily, right? Now this is Monday's price action, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's the same concept, right? So Thursday, for example, the highest point of this candle on Thursday, of this daily candle on Thursday, got up to the highest 53.0875. Okay, that's the highest point of where this candle got up to. All right. The lowest point was down here, right? Now that's the weekly low as well, right? Or sorry, that's the daily low. Okay. Now, the opening price of this candle was 52.70, right? And then the closing price was 51.97. It closed down here for Thursday. All right. So you can dissect these candles if you wanted to start zooming in, right? Like on the 1 hour. Now you see a lot of data, right? So up until this point right here, let me go ahead and remove this price action so it's not super like confusing. This point right here was last week's price action. Okay, so that one big weekly candle that I showed you guys, that candlestick with the big wick on the bottom side and the small wick on top. If I look at the 1 hour chart, each of these 1 hour candlesticks represent 1 hour. Okay, and we can break it down even more, right? But this was last week's price action, right? If I turn on this little thing right here, you guys will see it break. You guys will see it broken down by days, right? You got Monday, you got Tuesday, you got Wednesday, you got Thursday, and you got Friday. All right, this whole thing is one weekly candle. Okay, and each of these candles have a opening price, a closing price, and then in between that, they're going to have a high, which is the highest point of where that candle got to, and a low, which is the lowest point of where that given candle got to. Okay, it's not very complicated to understand candlesticks. They're just, you're going to see them on every single chart that you go to, right? All of these are candlesticks. They all have opening prices, closing prices, highs and lows for each candle. And these candle prices or these candlesticks are basically describing a story, right? They're telling us a story for that day or for that time frame. It's just telling us a story. It's telling us what we're most likely going to do. And that's pretty much what you use candlesticks for. And that's what a candlestick is. It's just the opening price, the closing price, and then in between that is just the high and the low of where that candle got to, the highest point and the lowest point of where those candles got to. Okay. Candlesticks is not that difficult to explain, or sorry, candlesticks is not that difficult to understand, but it is something that you need to understand, especially as a beginner. I remember when I was coming into trading, these were just very weird to me. Like it was just super weird, right? And yeah, I mean that's really as simple as I can put it. I mean, the candlestick is just really the opening where the candle opens, and then it'll form a low, a high, and then the closing price wherever the candle closes. Okay, that's really all you have to know about candlesticks. They're not super complicated. And you want to use tradingview.com to chart, and every single symbol that you guys see here, like this is the future symbol for the S&P 500, for NASDAQ 100, for the Dow Jones, right? The US 30. You got the dollar index, like you can see the strength of the dollar versus the futures, but that's a little more advanced right now. We're just talking about candlesticks. The point is that every single chart that you guys will find on TradingView will have candlesticks. Okay. Candlesticks is how you will predict price to go to somewhere. Okay. Candlesticks is what we're going to use to read price. Okay. It's what everybody uses to read price, especially if you're like an investor, a trader, or whatever. People use candlesticks all the time to read price. It's what you use to read price. And the open, low, high, and close of each candle is going to be very important later in the academy. So if you are a beginner, just make sure you just come on TradingView here and start studying these candles. Just look at them. You guys don't even have to do anything fancy or anything crazy. Just come on TradingView, mess around here, mess around with these time frames, and just look at these candles, right? Look at the numbers, where they open, where they close, mark them out. Start zooming into the 15-minute time frame, right? Each of these candles right here, this looks weird, I bet, to some of you guys, but each of these candles here represent 15 minutes, okay? And then with 4 15-minute candles represents what? A 1 hour candle. And with 4 1 hour candles represents what? 1 4 hour candle. And with 6 4 hour candles represents what? 1 daily candle. And with 5 daily candles, it represents 1 trading week candle. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what candlesticks are. But yeah, I will be talking about some common mistakes and things you guys want to avoid, especially if you're just starting. If you guys are watching this academy and you're kind of like intermediate, you guys know like the concepts that I use. The good stuff is going to come later. Trust me. The good stuff is going to come. Trust, bro. The good stuff is coming. We just got to get through this, because people that want to get into trading, they need to know this stuff. So that's why I'm breaking it down from from scratch. Okay. This is why I'm, doing this stuff right now. So I just want people that are getting into trading to understand this stuff before we get into like the more advanced shit that they don't understand right now. But they will if you keep at it. Okay. If you just stay on this fucking academy and you stay on course, you guys are gonna make a lot of money doing this stuff. Okay. So yeah, that's what candlesticks are, and this is the trading platform that I use to chart everything and see all these candlesticks. It is going to be tradingview.com. Just come in here, mess around, and you know, wait until the next video drops, which is going to be tomorrow. So catch you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Appreciate you guys. If you guys are new to trading, let me know in the comments below so I know how many newbies that I have in here. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you guys later. Peace.